I met a gypsy.
I guess the other thing too is just like the last name on the jersey too. Like that's gonna come with some good and some bad probably.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a hard topic because a lot of the people that have helped me out because of the Bayliss name. A lot of the people that have helped me out because I can ride good. And then comes into the things where people believe it's only just a name. And it'll be good. It'll be good to show them that it's, not just a name and that I can prove a point, which is, a big thing because from when I started racing, I guess, not necessarily dirt bikes, but when I started racing road racing, a lot of it was, people thought it was just because of the name, and I'm getting the opportunities that I've gotten because, just because of the name. And it's been good on the 300s and 600s. I proved that it was more than that, and hopefully this year I've done it, and then next year as well it'll be good, to prove to the people that believe that it's more than that. And yeah, hopefully it will be done. I think it will be, but yeah, it'll be good to show them what's up.
Yeah, because it's always it's one of those things you're just never going to get away from.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like it's a narrative that you kind of can control in a way by just the way that you talk about it and the way that you kind of deal with it. But I think winning races is the thing that fixes all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still a thing to deal with as a kid. I'm sure it probably was worse when you were younger than like bit. Nowadays, right?
Mainly to when I started, but I got a little bit when everyone kind of found out I was racing with the Barney, but it's good. I kind of like it, and it's going to sound so cliche, but it just helps you fuel. It fuels you up a little bit more. It gets that little bit out of you. Not necessarily anger, it just wants you to push a little bit more, which is good. I think, if you don't have any negative comments and stuff on your social media, then, it's kind of...
You're not doing good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And you two are so competitive. So I feel like even just from being around you guys the other day at the track, like you could see the competitive nature, and like your old boy still is mountain biking. Well, he got slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, he got slowed down a little bit, but he's still going.
But it's like you can see how competitive you two were, and it's like, I mean, I'm sure that of all the people that have ever given you shit about your dad being Troy Bayliss, your dad has probably given you the most shit about your dad being Troy Bayliss.
I mean, it's funny as everything that we do is a competition, and it's great. I love it. To be honest, I wouldn't want it any other way because it's so good for what I do. But we make it in a fun way. Like, I mean, far out. We go home. The first competition is weigh-ins. So whoever's the lightest, you win that one. Then we'll go to the kart track, whoever's the fastest, which is me. Every time we go there now, I smoke him. But it's funny because the main training that I do with him now is like surf skiing, like a paddle in the river, and we're always doing efforts out there to try and show each other who's the faster one. But I got a bit more strength, and he's got a bit more endurance, so it's cool, it's fun.
And was it always like that with him?
A little bit less when I started off, because I think he didn't want to really pressure me into it, which is good. And I don't feel pressured into it now at all because this is what I want to do. But I think he just wanted to take it a bit steady when I first started racing. And then after the past couple of years, everything turned into a competition. I mean, when we rode the 600s, he decided to jump on one as well, and we'd go around Morgan Park battling it out. And now, because he can't really ride the Ducati V4R, we kind of just go to the kart track on the 400s and just smash it out with each other. We're always passing each other, always having a battle. It's good fun.
Yeah, that must be pretty cool. And I think for him to like not push too hard at the start, because like that's probably when it's the most fragile with a kid. And then exactly. It's probably when you've got like the least experience with like dealing with the fact that my dad is a 3-time world champ, my dad is a fucking man. Yeah, like that's probably the move, to just let it kind of do its thing. Yeah,
exactly. That's the main thing, really. Not being pressured into it too much. I know that he wanted me to do it, and in dirt bikes, to be honest, I had a bit of a rough time in between dirt bikes and road racing. I kind of didn't get sick of it. I was just sick of the whole concept about me being a Bayliss and racing motorbikes. And it got to the point where it was almost getting on top of me, so I kind of had a little bit of a break. And then Dad asked if I wanted to have a ride on the metric at 70, I think it was, and I was like, yeah, I'll go have a practice on it, not thinking really anything about it. And then once I jumped on it, I just fell in love with road racing, really. From then, that's when it all started. And even the crashes and stuff, it just makes you want you to get on and go faster again. So, but yeah, it's good.
So what were you racing, like motocross or dirt track? Or
dirt track mainly. We started mainly oil track. That's where on the dirt I suffered a little bit, but when it came to oil, you had more grip. Is where I started to go really like pretty fast. And so yeah, I think that's where I kind of got my road racing background, was from the oil track on the dirt bikes.
Yeah, and then that was where it kind of felt a bit like, fuck, this is a lot, like being a Bayliss and rocking up to the track. And because it's like you'd never, for me, when I was a kid, you just pull into the pits, no one knows who you are, you unload your bike, you go on the track, no one cares, and then you go home. But for you, you'd be like this young kid that would have all these people watching you just purely because of who your dad was. Like there just would be no like anonymity in there at all. Yeah,
exactly. It feels like, sometimes it felt like you were only doing it because of that reason. And it's good because I've realised throughout the years that I actually like this sport. I love this sport, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So, yeah.
So when you were young, you lived in Monaco with your old boy, didn't you, for like the first few years? Yeah. And you pretty much just like grew up on the circuit while your dad was doing it?
Yeah, pretty much. So I, at the time, mum and dad were living in Monaco with my brother and sister, and boom, there I came along. So from there, I think dad had another 5 years where he was racing motorbikes, and that's where we lived in Monaco. So I was raised in Monaco for 5 years, and then we moved back to Oz. And yes,
so you're a Monegasque.
I'm a Monegasque. But yeah, it was good just spending time around the team and getting used to I think that's where a lot of the racing background came from, just growing up, and I was always around bikes.
Do you remember much of it?
No, nothing. I wish I did.
Be cool, huh?
Yeah, I really wish I did. I remember a couple stories here and there when my hair used to get dyed, at the racetrack by my cousins and stuff. But I wish I could remember more about how the atmosphere was.
Yeah.
And it's good to, you go to Phillip Island or something when the World Superbikes are there, and it kind of comes back to you a little bit.
Yeah.
But you don't get the full story. So hopefully in a couple of years I can feel how the atmosphere used to be.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.